Welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever looked at your relationship and thought, wow, this is completely different from how it used to be? If so, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dive into the incredible work of psychotherapist Esther Perel to figure out why that happens. And more importantly, what it takes to build a partnership that doesn't just survive, but one that's actually truly alive. Okay, this idea right here from Perel, it's a total game changer. What she's saying is that a long-term partnership isn't just one single story. Nope. It's more like a series of different marriages, but with the same person. Why? Because we change, right? So the real question becomes, how on earth do we successfully navigate all of those reinventions together? All right, so to figure this out, we're going to break it down into 5 key pieces of the puzzle. We'll start with that constant tension between me and we. Then we'll look at how we even build our relationships in the first place. After that, we're going to decode our fights, learn the art of real repair, and finally, we're going to talk about how to keep that spark alive through it all. Okay, first up, let's talk about the foundational challenge. And this exists in every single relationship, even the healthiest ones. It's this constant, kind of invisible balancing act that's going on all the time between two really fundamental human needs. So deep down, we're all navigating this paradox. On one hand, we crave security, right? That amazing comfort of knowing someone has our back. But on the other hand, we also need freedom. We need our own space, our own identity. A healthy relationship isn't about choosing one over the other. It's about managing this constant push and pull. This puts words to the question we're all subconsciously asking. How do I get close to you without losing me? According to Perel, learning how to navigate that question, well, that is the real work of being in a relationship. And usually this whole tension boils down to 2 core fears. One partner often leans towards a fear of abandonment, the fear of losing the connection, and the other might lean towards a fear of suffocation, the fear of losing themselves in the connection. Just being able to identify which fear is more active in you and your partner can be a massive breakthrough. So this fundamental tension we've been talking about, it actually shapes the very structure of our relationships. And Perel points out that, especially these days, we tend to build them in one of 2 really distinct ways. First, you've got the classic model, the cornerstone relationship. You know the type, couples who get together young, they build their adult lives, their careers, their friends, even their identities from the ground up together. The relationship is the very foundation for everything else. But now there's this more modern capstone model. This is when you meet later in life. You've already built your career, your social circle, your sense of self. Here, you're not looking for a co-builder, but for a partner who complements the life you've already created. Kind of like the final stone on top of a finished structure. So you see the difference, right? It's building an identity together versus confirming an identity you already have. And look, one isn't better than the other, not at all. But knowing which model your relationship follows is crucial because it defines all your unspoken expectations and the specific challenges you're probably going to face. Now, regardless of the model, conflict is going to happen. It's inevitable. But here's Perel's big insight. It's rarely about what you think you're fighting about. It's not really about the dishes or the money. Underneath it all, there's a hidden choreography at play. Most arguments follow one of 3 predictable dances. There's escalation, where you both attack. There's withdrawal, where you both just shut down. And then there's the most common one of all, the pursuer-distancer, where one person pushes for contact while the other pulls away. It's that exhausting cycle of chasing and fleeing. So, how do you break these cycles? Well, it isn't about winning the argument. It's about shifting from defensiveness to curiosity. And curiosity doesn't mean you agree with them. It's just a genuine desire to understand your partner's reality by asking, what's really going on for you right now? It's about exploring their world instead of just defending your own. And that shift to curiosity, that's the key that unlocks the door to real repair. But once that door is open, what does an apology that actually works look and sound like? This question just completely reframes the goal of an apology. It's not about arguing facts. It's about acknowledging feelings. The process of repair begins the moment you can honestly answer yes to the question, do I care that my partner is hurting? This process breaks a true apology down into 3 essential steps. First, you acknowledge the specific hurt. Second, you express sincere remorse for their pain, which is different from feeling shame for yourself. And finally, you demonstrate that you value them and the relationship more than you value winning the argument. And this leads to such a profound idea. A good repair doesn't just patch things up. It should be a generative experience, something that creates something stronger than what was there before. The goal isn't just to survive a rupture, it's to use it as an opportunity to revive the connection. And that idea of revival brings us to our final topic, and it's probably what Perel is most famous for, that delicate and often misunderstood relationship between love and desire. So here we run into another fascinating paradox. Think about it. Love is nurtured by security, closeness, and reliability. But desire often thrives on mystery, distance, and the unknown. In other words, the very things that make us feel safe can sometimes dampen the spark. As Perel says, desire needs a bridge to cross, and that bridge requires a little bit of space. This reframes intimacy away from being a performance and towards being an experience. It's not just something you do. It's a space you can enter together, a place where you can be playful, vulnerable, and connect with parts of yourselves that don't show up in daily life. Ultimately, all of these concepts point to this key distinction. A relationship that's simply not dead is one of survival. It's functional, but it might lack vibrancy. A relationship that is truly alive is generative. It has energy, curiosity, and playfulness. It feels like it's growing. And this distinction between not dead and alive brings us to the single most important question Perel suggests we ask about our relationships. Shifting your focus from just surviving to actively thriving. That is both the work and the ultimate reward. It's a powerful question to reflect on, and perhaps the first step toward building the next, more alive version of your own relationship. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.